I put I have an MXR micro flanger, which you can get. I put it before that because the flanger is a really, it's more of a brute effect. Like, it's not delicate. You know, it's meant to sound like aggressive. Like, it doesn't have to be put in an effects loop, in my opinion. But if you have pedals like these reverb or delay pedals, if your amp has an effects loop, I cannot stress this enough, put them in the back, because if you put them on the pedal board in the signal chain, you'll find that the delay will be very harsh, and it's very hard to get it to tame. And then overdrive pedals come at the very last. That's their last pedal in the chain. Any overdrives, boosts. However, there are pedals called fuzz faces. I don't know if you ever heard of these, but they're very hard to get to cooperate with other pedals. And when I'm at home, I actually put the fuzz face before the buffer. So that's actually the first thing I plug into. Only because it's a vintage style effect and it's kind of unpredictable, I would do that.
And also, for that, he's absolutely right. The reason for putting the distortion at the end, because if you put that at the beginning, now when you have your, like he mentioned, you have your chorus pedals or your other modulation things there, then you're going to get that signal be all nya nya. So what you need to do though too is if you have a specific artist, you can look it up online nowadays on computer, and you can say set up for Joe Bonamassa, set up for Chris Duarte, set up for Eric Clapton, and what pedal setup, and they will show you exactly the type of pedal that they are supposed to endorse.
Yeah.
Yes, John? Did you have a?
What was that? Nya nya or nya?
Yeah. That was it. Well, one thing I was going to ask you too. In the wah, one of the very important thing, because it's not just a matter of doing licks all the time too, like riffs. You know, it's the wah. One of the things I know you've all seen the movie Shaft. Shaft. Wow 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 wow. Shaft.
Like a standard car chase mode.
So that's very important for rhythmic things. Dennis Coffey, who plays in Detroit, he was with Motown, and he was one of the innovators of Shaft and Ball of Confusion with Motown. So it's really important. You know,
yeah.
Wow 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 wow.
So,
wow.
I forgot. Like, there's some other things that I do. I do a lot of, like, for muting is a technique that's very important. So if you're playing, you don't want to have your hand floating out over here, because when you start to play with more gain, you'll find that other strings will ring through. So keep your hand pressed on the strings that aren't in use. And also, a very important thing about gain itself, I like to think of it as a privilege. If you can play the difficult riff clean, then you can start to add your gain to it. Because if you start off with like a whole bunch of gain, you'll find that you'll be a very unversatile player. You'll pick up other guitars and play through clean amps, and it's going to be very difficult for you. Start with a clean sound. Practice with a very harsh sound, and then when you play live or you play for fun, then you can start to dial in your gain. And when it's time for me to dial in my sound, I like to treat gain as I don't ever want to use too much. I'd rather use too little than too much, because then it takes away. I find, and it masks a lot of the mistakes. So.
Last call for questions, Mr. Liu.
Christian, you obviously kind of lean towards rock blues.
Yes.
You're heavy on effects, and you play like a wizard. You're very quick and nimble.
Thank you.
I just wondered, you've been listening to a fair bit of other styles.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, I forgot this. Oh my God. Okay.
But
yeah.
Are you thinking at any time that you might want to pursue, say, West Coast jump blues styles, or
pursue as in like?
Have you ever even thought of country blues?
Country blues. What I like to do.
Yeah,
what I like to do is.
Blues for that,
I find that the greatest advice I've heard from a musician, like I don't know. Okay, I don't know how to say this, but think every piece of music has a great element to it. I don't know if I would pursue it like 100%, but if you listen, I do pull a lot of that the vibrato, a lot of the licks, and a lot of that stuff from that type of music. I find what I try to do every day is listen to something new or play something new. So I listen to the tunes and I listen to what the sax guy is doing and I play what he's playing. But honestly, like, there's so much music and there's so many things you can do with it. I find the best advice to go by is that there's good music and there's bad music, and that you're the one who decides what's right for you. And that's probably I don't know if I'd pursue it though.
Thanks, Christian. That's the right answer. Well, I have the prize here. I have the prize here for the gentleman. We have Mr. Matt Weingarten here from. Can't say that? No. Oh, come on! Don't be modest. He's been a long time, tremendous bass player and a long time friend for, well, 1 or 2 years, or decades, I guess. But I think we should have Christian. Can you jam out for us? Before he does that, put your hands together for a nice job by Christian. A wonderful presentation. That's your prize right here, sir. You're the fine winner. You can practice when you get home. So you want to do acoustic, electric? What do you
I'll do
prefer?
electric. If I had a jack, I would plug in a backing track, but I'll just do it.
I'll give this gentleman his wonderful prize.
I just want to make a couple comments about Long and McQuaid because as a parent, I don't know, if you're interested in getting any lessons for your kids, but since the time he started here, everyone's really given him a lot of support, including a letter from Mr. Long from Long and McQuaid, so that's pretty exciting. They've always made sure that whenever he's picking out equipment, that it's affordable, that it's the best fit for him. Everybody on the floor, everybody seems to, know you personally. And the lessons, they would say, okay, you can probably stop taking lessons now, but coming here today, we get to see what he knows. And like, I'm shocked, I just see him playing and think he's playing by ear. I had no idea.
Yeah, like, if you really want to do playing seriously, I forgot to mention this. Pick up one of these. Learn some of this. This is just reading, and there's a book here called The Elementary Rudiments by Barbara Williams or something, and it'll teach you all the theory. And I think that's one of the most important things I've learned is how music works. Knowing why a pentatonic scale is called a pentatonic scale, and I can tell you why it's played here, why this chord works with this chord, and it's very, very helpful to know. That, I think, is the most important thing to playing, and obviously enjoying music. I'm just going to play like a little bit of Cliffs of Dover. I don't have a backing track, or should I just end it? End it?
Is that enough, or do you want me to speed it up?
Oh.